Paul Bolt for having us over here this evening for the regular meeting of the Jessamine County Board of Education. Mr. Moore, would you like to call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Board Chair Stephen Scrivener.
Here.
Vice Chair Bobby Welsh. Deborah Hood.
Here.
Amy Day.
Here.
And Denise Adams. We have 4 present. We have a quorum.
All right. Do we have anyone to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening?
Yes, I'm going to have Chris Holbolt, and I do want to thank Chris Holbolt for setting up this, setting up the library for us. And if you haven't noticed yet, you've got all kinds of East High bling. These cups weren't left here; they're for you guys, and
nice.
the pads and everything else.
Swag.
So he's wanting to see a whole lot of E on you guys, I think, over the next year.
Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you, Chris.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Jessamine County Schools mission statement: Jessamine County Schools exist to motivate and challenge every child every day to be a caring, responsible citizen and a high-level thinker, performer, communicator, and learner for life. Do we have, yes, sir?
Yeah, can I see?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. We jumped from work session right into our meeting real fast. I'd like to also
apologize.
bring up Max Vanderpool.
I thought Max was just here to,
And
take this
and
wonderful
Max,
meeting in.
I was so hopeful you were going to be in your tux tonight. You just looked good last week.
You were showing off the other
Yeah,
night.
you were.
You were showing off.
Okay, all right, well, as is our custom in the South, would you mind praying with me?
Absolutely.
Father, it's always good to start off and be grateful, and we got a lot to be grateful for. We're not having to shelter against bombs and all kinds of crazy stuff. And even though there's a lot of people in the community on the struggle bus, there's a lot of people wanting to help. A lot of volunteers in the school district, a lot of parents, community members. Thank you. For this week, for this month, for where we are, I know teachers want to connect with their kids. Kids want to connect with each other. Kids want to connect with their teachers. So there's this thing in us, and we want to connect. And so foster and encourage those connections throughout the school district so that in the days and weeks ahead, there's more laughter and more joy along with all the learning that's going on. Thank you so much. I pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Max. We've had a chance to look over the agenda for this evening. Do we have any needed revisions to it? All right, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as is? All right, Denise makes a motion. I'll second it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. All right. Approval of our board meeting minutes from January the 24th. Any discussion around those or revisions needed? Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, Debbie, second.
Second.
All right, Denise is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. All right, Mr. Moore, construction update.
Yes, Jason.
We have Marky here.
Good evening. It's always a pleasure to be with you. So Jason's passing around this month's report. Photographs. We are finally seeing our gutters and downspouts on phase 1 in the upper left-hand corner. All the rest of the photographs are taken from our new phase 2 area. So in the upper right-hand corner, those green pipes are our hydronic supply and return piping for our HVAC in phase 2, already hung, and then the copper pipes, our domestic water. And beneath that is our equipment platform. So the steel and the concrete for the equipment platform in phase 2 is finished. You can see heat pumps in another photograph. And they have started removing the corridor floors so that we can install the new underslab sanitary piping. So things are going really well in phase 2. We're making good progress. Does anybody have any questions?
Not so much a question. I got to walk through Rosenwald the other day, and it looks beautiful.
Oh,
I mean,
thank
it's looking
you.
really good, so.
We're very pleased with the way it's coming along and just anxious to wrap it up this summer so that everybody can have a fresh start in the fall.
Absolutely. Do you think we're still on target to wrap up in the summer?
We certainly hope so.
Awesome.
That's our goal, and that's our conversation we have every time we're with our contractor. So,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you, Margie.
Thanks, Marty.
All right, Mr. Moore, Superintendent's report.
I wanted to just make you guys aware of a story that's going to be on the news this evening. We had a news station come in, and they connected with some of the Ukrainian families in Jessamine County. We talked about this a little bit last week, but I think it is a number that some people in the community maybe aren't aware of. We have about 300 students that are Ukrainian in Jessamine County schools, and I feel like they could use a lot of support right now, because I know that a lot of them have direct family and friends still in Ukraine, and I just wanted to mention that to you guys. And as I'd communicated to you earlier, we are making sure that we have a support system in place to give them any necessary support that they may need. But I appreciate the fact that the community has come together to help in any way that we can there.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. For the celebration piece, I don't have this one on there, but I did want to recognize again Dr. Michelle Reynolds. She received the Educational Award from the Chamber of Commerce last week. Very excited and very well deserved, and she is retiring this year, and I think that's a great recognition for a pretty incredible career, so thank you. All right.
She said she loves all this.
What's that?
She said she loves all this.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And the next celebration that we have is tied to our Love the Bus Month, and I'm going to ask our leadership team to come up here to the podium real fast from the Transportation Department. And I'm going to talk about them for just a moment. I can't.
You got to play too.
I can't begin to describe how impressive this team has been this year. It's an unusual year. Prior to this year, it wasn't like it was an easy job before that. All of them are saying, and how? Because this is a group of people that work tons and tons of hours and care a whole lot about this community, and just do a whole lot to make sure that our students are there and ready for school. This group in particular this year, again, has had to navigate things that nobody in their positions have ever had to navigate before. I love the fact, even on days that I thought there wasn't a solution to be had, that they can figure out how to come up with a plan to make these things work. I'm speaking from their leadership team of all the things they're doing, but I think they would very quickly pass a lot of that recognition on to the bus drivers and monitors. There's lots of times where bus drivers are hopping on the radio, or Matt's hopping on the radio and saying, hey, I've got 2 open routes that need to be filled. Can you pick up this? And somebody finishes a route. As soon as they do, they say, I've got it, and they're on the road. So again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this group. If it wasn't for this group, I'm very confident that we would be much like other districts throughout the state and the nation, where they've had to cancel school or not be able to transport groups of students to school on particular days. So I can't say enough about this team, and I'm just so appreciative to have them as part of our team. Matt, do you want to make any comments?
I never pass an opportunity to talk, so I appreciate the invitation. I just want to say that I am very grateful for the team that I have, and the work that they've done over 30 years, 20 years, 6 years, 15 years. Sam's the new guy. He got hired actually before I did, so I'm the new guy. But he's got 16 years in another district. But they really are the heart and soul of transportation. And without their effort, without their experience, without their knowledge, we really would be in a lurch. And so I can't say enough great things about the way that they've stepped in. And Lisa, we say she's got the magic hands, and whenever we have those 20 or 25 or 28 routes that are open, that's literal situations. And she's been able to cover those routes and has done it beautifully. I'm thankful for all of our drivers that have been willing to jump in and help out and make that happen. Every person up here, on average, works a 12-hour day. And we do that day in and day out. And those long hours, they're hard, but there's a lot of gratitude in doing that together. And so I can't thank these folks enough for the job that they're doing. I want to brag on Crystal. She's new to the lead training position, and so far she's 100% on our drivers that are going to take their test for the first time. So I want to say congratulations to her.
No pressure, Crystal, no pressure.
Yeah. She's got 2 more tomorrow, and she's just done a beautiful job in that role, and I can't thank her enough for stepping into a tough situation. And so these guys are really amazing. I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to work with them, and we've had tremendous support from Central Office and Sarah Crum and Mary Newton. If you know Mary through Adult Ed, she's just she's been a champion for us to work with Adult Ed to promote and to get folks in the building to get prepared for their CDL tests. So I'm just grateful for all the people that have stepped in and helped us and really done the job that needed to be done.
Man, I want to add on to something Matt said. We've talked so much about masks and schools being open, but I feel like you guys are the reason we were able to keep them open. So it's you all been amazing this year. I've had numerous conversations with parents and things like that about the challenges our district has faced. You guys are the reason. So it's very much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Michelle, will you share the one comment that one of the classified council members said?
We have 2 members of the transportation family and our class support staff council, and they kind of share information and represent their role groups. But one always has a lot to say. He's the one that all the drivers kind of go to. He's been on the council for a long time, but this last meeting, he, without provocation, said, I just have to tell you, this last month is the best it's ever been. Ever in my 13 years at the bus garage. He said the climate and everything is just better than it's ever been, and that was huge. That was huge. So, yeah.
I thought it was worth mentioning, definitely.
Oh yeah.
And I've got this tradition that I started 5 years ago of military-minded. These are challenge coins, and this is a Jessamine County challenge coin, and it says "We are Jessamine," and I give those out to people that do exceptional things to make Jessamine County great, and I just want to give one of these to each of you guys, and thank you very much for your work. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think Lisa sees Beth, I need to those
guys.
You cash those in for a morning
Oh.
breakfast with Matt any
Yeah.
day of the week. I watched him cook 400 eggs one morning. What's that? Oh yeah, he does. So they want the ability to treat their staff to a meal, and instead of that, he asked for a big griddle, so he cooks multiple meals on it now. Yeah. Y'all take care. The only other 2 things I was going to mention is a quick COVID update. We did announce today that masks were optional on buses. And
Was that I take it that was a change in federal policy?
yes, it sure was. So as soon as they lifted it, actually on Friday, they made the announcement, so we made the adjustment and sent the word out to parents. And then also, just so it's on your radar, our Test to Stay program, we're going to keep in place all year, but the numbers have gone down significantly. So at least while the numbers are down, we've moved the location to Computrex Drive where their office, or not Computrex Drive.
Dewey
Yeah, Dewey.
Drive.
Yeah, where their facility's located.
It's still pretty convenient.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, so if we see that the volume picks up for any reason, then we'll look for making adjustments. But that keeps their employees from being out in the weather. So.
Awesome.
And then the only other thing that I wanted to mention to you, that item G, if you haven't looked at this, this was another one of our 13 audits this year, and this was for food service, and there were 0 findings, and they were very complimentary of the work that we're doing, and I just appreciate Leanne Connors so much. She has more energy and a bigger heart than anyone I've ever seen in this particular field, and just so appreciative for everything that they do to make sure our students are fed.
Awesome. All right, take it no audience communications. Any board member communications? Anybody want to report back from Louisville?
Debbie, it's me. Your mileage check on your vehicle.
It was fine, honestly, yes, but I think I saw it going around down the parking lot.
All right, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. We've got a pretty big consent agenda, 35 items. I want to call out a few donations in here. $5,000 in grant funds from No Kid Hungry to make improvements on the Smiles for Miles bus. We've got $1,800 from Erica Dalton for the purchase of an outdoor octagonal table for the West Jessamine Middle Youth Service Center. $600 from LMAC for West Jessamine High School. $3,000 from Brothers Run for the West Jessamine High School Sources of Strength program. Walmart gift cards totaling $500 from an anonymous person to the East Jessamine Youth Service Center. $2,500 from the Nicholasville Elementary PTO to go to Nicholasville Elementary. $500 from the Jessamine County Educational Foundation for East Jessamine Middle. And then another $500 to East Jessamine Middle from the East Jessamine Middle PTO. So we really appreciate all those donations that benefit our students. Any questions or comments, additional comments on the consent agenda?
Is it me or are we getting more community donations?
Feels like it
This
does.
Yeah,
has
it
been
does
the
feel like
largest
it.
that I can recall.
Yeah,
And I
this
did,
particular month?
yes.
Yeah.
But it does seem like there's been a lot of
A trend
really nice
towards-
Yeah, the
donations.
past couple of meetings we've had, we've
And
had
then-
several.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd mentioned it earlier, item 23 is the grant that we were talking about, the homeless grant.
Right.
That is the $106,000. So hopefully, keep your fingers crossed that that one comes through.
All right, if no additional comments or questions, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Denise will second it. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. All right, that brings us to the action items. Mr. Moore, item G1.
Yes, this is to give us more flexibility with particularly substitutes for our nursing needs. This would give us access to assistants. We don't have a salary schedule for those particular positions, so it just gives us, again, that flexibility. We already have, this isn't a new position. It just gives us the ability to fill a medical position with this title. So it's my recommendation that you approve this job description and salary schedule.
All right, any questions? All right. Do we have a motion to approve item G1? Debbie, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. All right, G2.
This is our staffing allocation for next year. This is the base, or where we're starting, but anything else that I shared with you or that we may add on March 10th would be in addition to this. Yes. The only thing that's different in this, if you recall, with the ESSER dollars, we stretched those out for 3 years. So what we did is for the first year, gave our elementary and middle schools 1.8 additional staff, and then we gave our high schools 1.5. So what we've done with the ESSER monies for the second and third year is cut that in half. And the intentions were to spread that money out as far as we can. So with that, we have elementaries and middle schools that have gone from the additional 1.8 to the 0.9, and then we had the reduction for our high schools in half as well. If we can figure out anything else with our budget adjustments, I'll bring that to you on the 14th. But this is the base allocation. So it's my recommendation that you approve this allocation as published.
Any questions? All right, I'll make a motion to approve item G2. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. All right, item G3.
Yes, this is to change the job description requirements for our qualifications for somebody who may be interested in the athletic director's positions. Prior to this job description, you had to have a teaching certification. What this does is opens that field up. It's a bachelor's degree in a range of things. So if somebody has experience, let's say with Parks and Rec, or they've got some type of an athletic management, or just something, a communication degree, and they've been practicing in a field that is valuable to this particular job, then they can apply for it. So what we're really hoping is that it gives us potentially some more applicants in the process.
Makes sense. Any questions? All right, do we have a motion to approve item G3? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. All right, I'll take G4 on here. So our school district boundaries are designed, or I guess by law, we need them to be somewhat equal in terms of population. We talked about this at a previous work session. The changes that we've put into the schedule affect 3 precincts. Precinct D3, which is D103, which is Bethel Road, would move from District 5 to District 4. Precinct D101 would move from District 4 to District 5, and then Precinct A107 would move from District 5 to District 1, which brings all of our districts pretty close to the average, more so than they are now. So that's reflected in the attached schedule. Here, I'll pass that down, let it go that way. Give that one to Denise and let she and Amy look at it. So essentially, what it boils down to is this brings us more in line. There's no changes to Districts 2 and District 3, but this brings Bobby's District 1 up a little bit closer to the norm, brings me down closer to the norm, and keeps Denise pretty close to where she was. So I'll make a motion. I'm sorry, Howard.
Matt, I've got some things to pass out to each one as a redraft of the motion that we had before.
Okay.
And also information about this. Need to give to
Thank you.
the Department of Education and we'll have to advertise. But I've updated the motion that I had previously, and this
Okay.
will also need to be advertised in the Jessamine Journal.
Okay.
And we've added to there that it's effective immediately, so that hopefully no one is filed and would be out of district, because once this is done tonight, it would be in effect.
Okay.
And would allow.
Okay, so the motion is that the Jessamine County School District divisions be divided as equal in population and containing integral voting precincts insofar as is practical based upon 2020 census data as required by KRS 160.210 and shown by the attached schedule of precincts for the 5 divisions, which I've passed out and everyone can see here, which is adopted, approved, and incorporated by reference here and effective immediately. So again, just to summarize, this really only affects 3 precincts. D101 moving from District 4 to District 5. Precinct D103 moving from District 5 to District 4. And then A107 moving from District 5 to District 1. Any questions, comments? All right, I'll make the motion. Do we have a second? Cindy seconds. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. All right.
Make a copy of this.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'll email it to everyone.
Okay,
It might be in his handout.
I'm sorry.
It might be in his handouts.
Yes, I'll email it to you as well, Howard.
I think it is in the handout, isn't it?
Well, it's, he put a blank,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I went ahead and typed it all out so we would have it. Yes, absolutely. I'll send it to everyone. All right. So I'm going to make a motion that we enter executive session for the purposes of preliminary discussions about the evaluation of the superintendent under KRS 61.810(1)F and KRS 156.5574D. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Are you okay with Jason and Michelle stepping in that? We were going to use Chris's office.
Yeah, that's fine.